Good evening.
Hello, everybody.
And welcome to Life with the Popes. We are back.
It's been a long time, girl.
It has.
But your favorite couple is back with some good information tonight during a trying time.
Yeah. So it's tonight we are talking about marriage and relationships and encouraging you in this crisis to not give up too quick.
Yes.
Not give up too quick. This is a real trying time. This is a crisis. It can be difficult during these times. Yeah. Hey, everybody, as you're coming on,
so
make sure you share.
Let's give everybody time to
Make
come
sure you
on.
share.
Yeah, so.
Share on your pages, guys, so we make sure the word is out that we're live tonight. We haven't done a Life with the Popes in
a minute.
It's been a minute.
We've been doing a lot of personal things on church, our other coach consortium.
Yeah.
Business.
We are so busy.
But it's a good thing.
Yeah. It's good busy.
It's a good
really good busy. Everything is good. But it's definitely, it's our schedules are hard to juggle. It's hard to I think this is my third time going live tonight or teaching in the evening this week. Like literally we're if to fit everything in, we would be live every single night of the week to fit everything in, and so it gets kind of tough.
So listen, guys, about 2 minutes. We need you to share. If you come on YouTube, say hello to us.
Hey guys,
we want all of you to talk to us tonight. Tell us how you're doing.
And where are you checking in from? Where are you at?
Where are you quarantined at?
Yeah, where are you quarantined at?
Now you're supposed to be quarantined.
Right.
At your home, shelter in place. But some people are sheltering in somebody else's place. We ain't gonna go there tonight.
Listen. Silver Springs, Maryland. Hey, Maryland.
Hey, Maryland.
Welcome.
All right, so as you're coming on, say hello. Tell us where you're in. So we got Lawrenceville, we got New York, Brooklyn, New York. We're praying for New York. We're praying for all of America, but New York has truly been hit the hardest.
Hey, Lachelle, over here on Facebook.
Hey, so just give it a couple minutes.
Trinidad.
Hey, Trinidad.
It's Cassandra from Michigan. Hey, love.
What's up, Candace? What's up, girl? We got everybody checking in tonight. Andrea, hope you're all doing well, Uniqua.
Yeah.
So,
Tennessee
is in the house.
What?
So we're excited. We're now in a time of our lives that none of us probably ever imagined being in. I mean,
this is unique for the world at this point. I don't think that any generation up to this point has experienced a pandemic like this with everything getting shut down. This is a pretty unique experience.
Yeah,
guys.
Even though we had a pandemic in 2009 with the H1N1 flu, we were also facing at that time the early part of the recession that later became known as the Great Recession. Right. And so there was so much going on. But what's scary about now is we're starting to see that trend again but this time it flipped. We have the, instead of the recession first, we have the H1N1, and then now, we have the coronavirus, and then now here is a great, could be a depression because everybody's been hit. So
I think it's going to rebound.
It's going to rebound.
I think it's going to rebound.
But the reason why this message tonight, we're just coming to you to simply say, don't give up too quick, is there's a lot of stress that comes with this time of chaos and this pandemic. Now, how many, and listen, this is where we talk back and forth. So, hey, Loretta, God bless you, and Valerie, and all of you that are on tonight. How many of you can be honest and say, hey, Popes, I'm kind of feeling some of this, what you're talking about. I'm feeling the squeeze of stress. I'm feeling the squeeze of pressure. I'm really feeling this. So many people being furloughed, not getting laid off.
Unemployment is skyrocketing.
Yes.
We're at home digitally schooling our children. The kids are home. There's no breaks.
Yeah.
There's no extracurricular activities.
Yeah.
So it's a lot going on right now.
And so with that being said, there is so much going on. And then here comes the relationship stress.
Yeah. It puts a lot of pressure on relationships and on marriages during this time.
Yeah.
So before we dive into this subject, guys, we're going to give kind of a caveat here. So we're going to begin to talk about not giving up too quickly, right? Just not to give up too quickly. However,
However.
we are not speaking to people who are in abusive situations.
Nope.
We're not speaking to people who should have gotten out a long time ago.
Nope.
And you stayed and now you're in the home and in close quarters with someone that is, it's painful, it's hurting. You've been avoiding getting out.
Yeah.
You've been avoiding kind of the reality that this relationship, this marriage was over a long time ago. And now this crisis kind of brings that all to a head. That we're not talking to you tonight. You need to get out.
Well, the movie was called Get Out, right?
Get out. You need to get out. Okay. We're talking about people who are finding that there's some simple things or there's some complications in their relationship or in their marriage that maybe you haven't dealt with, maybe you haven't addressed, maybe you've got some issues that need to be addressed. Maybe this situation, because crisis will cause you to have to face realities of what's going on in your relationship or in your marriage.
So let me address something real quick, because someone on YouTube just says, so are you advocating divorce? We're advocating love, peace, and happiness.
Yeah.
And sometimes a divorce may be the way that comes about. So listen, what you're going to learn about the popes is we're just straight up with you.
All marriage ain't been put together by God.
And it's not, and they say, what God has joined together, let no man put asunder. Some stuff God did not put together.
Some of this stuff is not God.
So if you think we're going to be the ones that tell you to stay in it with a crazy nut that's cheating on you and beating you upside the head, and every time you turn around,
lying to you,
deuces,
treating you,
deuces,
manipulating you, hurting you, emotionally breaking you down.
While you're quarantined, he's quarantined over at the other girl's house, so she's quarantined at her dude's house.
Okay.
Now, this is a reality check. One thing you got to learn is if this is your first time tuning into the
if you don't know us,
we are straight up real. Meaning we're not going to sugarcoat it, we're not going to dance around it, we come right at it.
That's right.
And we both have been divorcees, so we understand what it means to go through it. So we're not going to get into any doctrine tonight of your personal religious belief. That's for you and God to work out. What we're talking about tonight is those who are coming into new stresses due to the pandemic. And now, you're already frustrated, worried about how you're going to pay your bills. You're worried about having to raise the children in the home. Before it was just you. Now you having to be at home with the kids. And then there's no love life, because who wants to really be in love, making love when you're stressed? So there's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of
variables.
tension.
A lot of variables right now. Carrie and I both said, and this is what caused us to do this video tonight. We were talking about we both know what it is. Hey, Christina. Hey, guys over on Facebook.
Hey, everybody.
We both know what it is, guys, to be in an unhappy marriage or an unhappy relationship. We know what it is to be unequally yoked, to be incompatible, to not be able to get along with someone no matter how hard you're trying, that you're not best friends. You're the furthest thing from that in a relationship. So we know what that is like. Hey, Rose. And so what we're coming into tonight is saying, Carrie and I understand, because one of the things that we said to each other was, we're so grateful that we are best friends. We're so grateful that we can spend extended amounts of time together and still enjoy each other's company.
Right.
We can do nothing and have fun. We can watch movies and play cards and talk and laugh and kick it and just chill and go on our back deck and have a glass of wine and just relax. And we enjoy each other's company. It's one of the things that during our dating we were checking for, right? We were very much, this is not our first rodeo. So we know that we had to be looking for that compatibility component that would say it's not about just the benefits of the person. No. It's not about just some bomb sex. It's not about oh, he's got all this money, or she's so
financial stability.
sexy, or
No.
she's so. It's like we
Mm.
have genuine compatibility.
Mhm.
And as we talked about that, we thought about, okay, now think back when we didn't have it. Think back to what if we were going through this right now in this time in a situation where we weren't happy, or where we weren't compatible with someone. And so for tonight, we're really encouraging you to take a self-inventory, take an analysis.
Before you make a decision off of stress and emotions, stop and think about, why did you even get in the relationship in the first place? What was it about that person that separated them from everybody else in the world?
Yeah.
That made you say, out of all the stars in this place, I chose you? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, nobody signs up to get married for stress. Nobody signs up to get married for divorce. Nobody signs up to, when we say our vows. Here we go. Do you take Rebecca to be your lawfully wedded wife, to have and to hold from this day forward, for better or worse? We don't hear the worse. Richer or poor? We don't hear the poor. In sickness and in health, we don't hear the sickness.
Right.
We only hear the good things because we're smiling.
We're in love.
We got pictures being taken. This dress is too tight. My suit is too hot. Whatever goes through your mind. And then you go through the honeymoon, and then it's reality when things really start happening. And it's things like this pandemic, where people truly find their love tested.
Yes.
And
this is going to test you.
And then you get this saying, I can do better by myself.
Yes.
You can do worse by yourself, because you know what? That person that's with you, and if God has given them to you, will be there for you if you have nothing. Will be there for you if you about to lose your mind.
Yes.
Will be there at the hospital if you get sick. Will be the one that will work 2 jobs and sustain the family and help the kids and bring food to you. But he may not be 6'4". He may not have the muscles. In other words, this pandemic is not an opportunity to trade up.
And you know what I think? What's the name of the comedian we watch on Instagram?
Little Duval?
Little Duval. Little Duval made this post on Instagram. It was like yesterday or today, guys. And he said that essential dudes are winning right now. In other words, your hardworking dudes.
Oh, come on.
Your dudes driving the ambulance. Your dudes, your firefighters, your police officers, your essential men.
Isn't it funny that the world finds them essential,
but people don't? Essential men.
I'm glad I'm essential.
All of a sudden, your bosses, they're out of work. They ain't got no money. Things are looking real shaky, right? But when it comes to the men now that our society depends upon to keep everything running, to keep us safe, all of a sudden your really, really good man is an essential man, and all of a sudden women are looking at essential men a little different now. Like, that check's still coming in. Wait a minute.
Wait.
He still got a job.
Wait, why are you going to the mailbox in your silk robe when the trash man comes by now to pick up the trash? And you never pay that man no attention. Like, shh, what is the trash man? Come on.
Right.
I mean, at the end of the day, the situation's going on right now. We want to talk tonight about what can you do to help you get through this? Because I want you to know we will get through this, and this will end. Okay? It will end. But what are some of the things you can do to get through it? Now, Rebecca and I, this past weekend, every week we do date night. Most times it's Tuesday night, we go to the movies, and Friday night we get a restaurant.
Guys.
Yeah. So with all the movie theaters shut down and all the restaurants closed, does that mean date night ends?
All of our live music spots, all of, our favorite spots to go, our favorite food, everything is shut down.
Yeah. So does that mean that, and I'm sorry, I'm just mocking, but I'm just loving it, girl. But does that mean that date night ends? No. You have to become creative in this time. What does that mean? Hey, if drive-thru is the only thing that's open, take your candle with you in your car. Pull up to Chick-fil-A and say, hello, welcome to Chick-fil-A. How may I help you? I would like a number 1. What would you like, baby? I want a number 3. And, extra sauce, whatever.
Right,
and then we pulled out of Chick-fil-A around the corner, parked the car, and had date night. So what you could do, pull the car around, do the same thing. Maybe get on the hood and lay a cloth out or something, and put your candle out there and turn your radio on in your car and date night.
Exactly.
And you may say that's corny. It's not corny if you love the person you're with, because you're being creative. What has happened in relationships is creativity has left.
Yes.
Nobody's being creative anymore.
We used to say this, you guys, when we were dating. Is this exclusively for couples? No,
it's everybody.
Listen, when we were dating, I used to say this all the time. Literally one of my most memorable dates with Carrie when we were dating.
Come on, girl.
It wasn't a 5-star restaurant. It wasn't a trip to Jamaica. It wasn't. One of my most memorable dates with my husband when we were dating. We were just dating. Was a picnic.
Say it again.
In the park.
Just throw down a blanket.
A picnic in the park.
Yeah.
And it was like, and I have videos that I've saved from back then, pictures from back then, guys. I remember some of our dates, our most wonderful dates were ice cream dates, just sitting on a...
That's how we got fat, come to think of it, because we was going over to Dave and Buster's and just chilling.
We love like to sit on, a bench and just eat an ice cream cone and just people watch. We'd go down to Atlantic Station in Atlanta.
I got on the piano.
Ice cream, and we would just look. And you're talking about stuff that doesn't even cost $20, right? But when you love the person you're with and you enjoy their company, I mean, it literally doesn't even matter what you're doing. You're just having a good time because you're with someone you enjoy their company.
So here's a question. When's the last time you lost track of time because the person that you were with, you had so much fun to where you looked up like, oh my God, where did the time go? That's the signs.
That's the sign.
That's the sign.
If you go on a date and you look up and the next thing you know, your date is turned into a 4 or 5 hour date because you guys are just talking and vibing. That was our first date. We literally were together like 4 hours on our first date and didn't even want to leave each other.
And then so now that you can't go anywhere, that we're quarantined, we're sheltered in place, rekindle some old thing. Now, for the married couples, and some that are dating, I say married because we love to get people married these days. But if you got a significant other, put your robe on, put on your what they call that, apron, and cook them a breakfast, and serve it to them in bed, and say, "Baby, this is bed and breakfast this morning."
That's right.
Come in with bed and breakfast.
Right?
Because see, what I'm getting at is, yes, it's tough times.
But make it fun.
If we're going to be with each other, let's at least have fun doing it. Breakfast in bed. That's going to lead to sex. It might and it might not. But at least be adventurous and do something different. Right. I don't know how to cook. That definitely makes it fun. Because while you're setting off the fire alarms.
Oh no.
What is it?
John says, I'm quarantined with my ex-wife. Please help. I told you.
Hold on.
I told you.
Moment of silence for John.
John, we are so sorry.
No, well, John, are you currently married?
No, he says ex-wife.
No, right, but he may be married and she needed a place to go with the new wife. I'm just being sarcastic.
Oh my God.
You never know, John. This may be a sign.
Maybe there's hope, John.
It might pull you back in. You never know. All things work together for the good of this.
Right?
I mean, let's be honest. You never know.
Listen, I bet you guys there is a lot of rekindling going on during this time, and all of a sudden when things get slowed down and shut down and you sitting at home by yourself, I bet single people are thinking back about Bobby, thinking back about Sally, and thinking, she was the best woman I ever did. All of a sudden, because all your options or your perceived options are limited.
Wait a minute. You didn't read the memo. Due to coronavirus, cuffing season has been extended.
Right?
That's what's happening.
I already know. No, wait. He said, I'd rather have the corona than have her.
You know what? I pray she's not watching because, my God, that is hilarious.
Ooh, John,
he said, I would rather have corona.
Listen, babies are being made.
I just have a question. But
Vin said that babies are being made right now.
Listen, two things about to happen. More babies and more divorces.
Yes.
So the baby boom of the 46, 47 during the World War II, guess what? We get ready to sit in 2020. We're not going to have any. I can assure you of that.
What sure? Oh my! I almost cursed. Ooh, no.
Girl, listen,
if
you came to me and said, baby, guess what? The corona brought about Rona.
Yeah,
Who is Rona? Our little girl. I was
we
pregnant.
We would name her Rona. Listen, no.
I'm telling you right now, Carrie Pope
would die.
Would
die.
Just start playing time.
I'm ready for grandbabies.
Just start
I ain't
playing
trying
time.
to have no baby.
So anyway, let's go to the subject. Just
okay.
About it. So now, Rebecca, what's some other things that can happen if someone is wanting to give up? We're telling them,
don't give up too quick.
Don't give up too quick.
Because this is a really great time. And let me talk to the ladies for a second.
All right.
Let me talk to the ladies.
Talk to the
ladies. This is a time when men who really care about you, really love you,
mm-hmm.
they really show improve during times like this. These are the men who are dropping groceries and toilet paper at your door.
They found toilet paper?
They'll find some for the woman they love. They'll find some.
What? Are you telling the truth? Because I did find some, didn't I?
You did.
You
found some. And that's what I say. So right now, pay attention to
small
actions.
Yes.
Because there could be men that you liked or whatever, and they're gone. They're nowhere to be found. They're not helping you. They're not helping you with your kids. They're not there for you. Even if you're just having anxiety or you just need someone to talk to, right? Some of these dudes are just ghost on you. Ghost. And so you need to pay attention to who's there for you. Pay attention.
Bring that back up on YouTube. I just saw something very interesting.
Pay attention.
Pay attention, please. What? Go to last. What did he say?
I am locked down and wife is in the next room I haven't seen in 15 days. I'm missing her real bad.
So Rocky, are you? He must be. He must have.
Oh, he's quarantined.
You're quarantined. Oh,
in the other room. I'm so sorry.
Sorry, Rocky. Sorry,
I'm so sorry. Yeah, we talked about that. Like what we would have to do if
I wouldn't make it.
If one of us caught it,
you just gonna catch it. I'm sorry. If I catch it, you catching it. We're one.
What?
Rocky, I commend you, Rocky. I do.
No, because you don't. Because look, if both people get sick, then our kids are getting sick.
No, they just won't come in the room.
No, I'm just saying that's serious. I mean, you really don't. If I was sick, I would not want any of you around me.
Really?
Yes. No way. I wouldn't want you to get sick or the kids to get sick.
Well, I don't want you to get sick. I mean, I don't mean it like that, but I'm just saying it's got to be hard because Rocky loves his wife and she's in the next room and he can't see her. 15 days is a long time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Somebody said there is no one dropping nothing, no man to be found. Laugh my butt up, but I do appreciate marriage more, right?
Well, here's what's happening. And you was thinking, but she's right because men, they're showing their love for you in small gestures.
And sometimes women put men in the friend zone, a man who's really good to them and really loves them.
Because they're waiting on who?
Because they're waiting on that next it dude, whoever that they think is so much better. But, honestly, there's really, really good men a lot of the time in our lives, ladies, that we're ignoring.
Yeah. And so
Mildred said, I had a guy call and offer fresh vegetables to plant in my yard. I thought it was a very sweet gesture.
Yes.
Very sweet.
And let me say something to you guys. Just because somebody makes a sweet gesture doesn't mean they want you. Some people are coming together now to help people.
Oh, Rocky says, what should I do? My anniversary is next week and he's in quarantine.
All right, so Rocky, this is what you do. If you can't come out of quarantine, you tell her come to the door and you sing It's Our Anniversary to her.
Aww.
You say her sweet poem through the door.
Right.
You say things to her that lets her know how you feel.
Yeah.
Because to be absent in the body is what you are right now. In a sense, you can't be there in body, so you're absent, but your spiritual love can travel through anything.
And Rocky, I think Amazon is still delivering. I've ordered a couple things from Amazon. You can order something and have something delivered, as a gift for her. Yeah. There's things you can do. Just start to think outside the box.
If both of you are YouTube savvy or Facebook savvy, you can create a picture clip thing.
Write her a letter. That's a good idea.
Write her a letter. You know what?
Yeah,
man,
that's a really good one.
You can sing 12 play to her.
Women love letters. That's right, then.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
12 play. You know what?
That's a letter, right? You can sing R. Kelly. My mind's telling me no. I mean, I'm just because you want to come through the door because and see what makes you love someone more is when you can't have
my husband.
Y'all know we have fun. Oh, ladies say, okay, men, pay attention. They're saying,
definitely.
If you want to get to a lady's heart, write her a letter.
Write her a letter.
Write your letter, girl.
Oh, that would be so sweet.
Dear Rebecca.
Yeah, that would be
I love you.
so
Will you go out with me and put a
yes or no box?
Yes or no. Keep it simple.
Right.
But again, it's being creative. So Rocky, happy early anniversary to you.
Rocky, we're praying
Rocky, how many years will it be? I hate that you're in quarantine, but how many years will it be for you? Because this is what we're talking about, being creative. Doing things. That air is killing me. It's so cold.
I don't know why you turned it on.
As we do in church. Yeah, excuse me.
I have never done any form of online shopping. Yes, I had started to write her a letter. She is my rock. I love her so much. She is my soulmate. Oh, Rocky, that is so sweet. Love it, love it, love it, Rocky. We love.
Rocky.
Make sure she wears gloves, though, right? When you give her anything.
Rocky. Her name's not Adrian, is it?
April. Rebecca, I'm not really a social person, but I love you. I love you too, sweetheart.
All right, so.
So what's the
You said 14 years. Awesome.
Oh, Rocky, congratulations.
Yes,
that is so sweet.
Awesome.
That is so sweet. Let me go back over here.
Sure.
So what's the dating etiquette during social distancing? 6 feet apart or Zoom conferences?
Zoom conferences, FaceTime.
FaceTime and Zoom conferences.
Yeah.
I mean,
and again, be creative. Do something creative. I would love to see somebody propose via social distancing.
I would love it.
Do where you can get people to come in and sing. I'm gonna do a serenade. I'm gonna serenade her down by the keyboard in the studio. A lot of you don't know that I'm a musician. I'm gonna go down there and serenade and sing by the candlelight. We can't go anywhere. Might as well. Bring the club in.
We in the house. We're not going anywhere.
Because you have to be creative. And somebody said, well, Karen, I want to get out. I'm not happy. I feel like my life is stuck. I don't feel like we're compatible. What I like, he doesn't like, or she doesn't like. But at the same time, have you really stopped and looked at this? Have I put in the time needed with each other to have something? Let's be honest, most of us work all the time, have church all the time, we have social lives all the time.
Yeah.
Nothing should be more important than your relationship first. And when it's solid, branch out. Most people have branched out and left the relationship on life support.
Yeah.
And in cases like this, times like this, the plug is about to be pulled. They've stated right now that China, because they're starting to come back to life, that people are making a beeline straight down to divorce.
Yeah, there's a huge spike in divorces right now in China as they've come out of Corona. Everything's getting back to normal.
Mm-hmm.
People are filing for divorce.
Yeah. And so with that being said, I don't want that to be you. It's not a good feeling. And I'm going to say something to you. Even if the divorce is warranted and needed, you're still going to feel the pains of it. Yeah. It's not easy. If you have children involved.
Divorce is horrible.
It is horrible. It is.
I wouldn't wish divorce on my worst enemy. No. Divorce is horrible. Horrible.
Yes, we will pray for you to get a position because people are struggling with employment right now. Let's talk about that employment.
But one thing, Rocky just mentioned that he had an anniversary cruise planned for them and they were going to renew their vows on their cruise. And so that has to all get rescheduled. Rocky, we are praying for your quick recovery. We are so, just so happy to hear about your marriage and that you're so happy. Yeah. It's so good.
And Rocky, you may not can do it right now.
Yeah.
But it's still what happens.
You're still going to do it.
It's still going to happen. And so with marriages being on life support, relationships being on life support, you don't have to pull the plug. There is still hope. The hope is, let me stop and ask myself, is this really what I want? Get people out of your ears. Get your girlfriends.
Grass isn't always greener.
Baby, it ain't even grass. It's AstroTurf.
It's not always
It's
greener,
not real.
guys. Sometimes I think we live in a society now where people give up on things really easy. Yeah. Like the first sign of distress, the first hiccup, and it's kind of like either or. You've got people who stay in really horrible situations way too long. Or you've got people who literally give up like, oh, you're not who I thought you were. I didn't sign up for this. Yeah. I'm out of here. Yeah. And it's like, whoa, nobody's perfect. Nothing is going to fit this perfect ideal you may have, in your head.
That's right.
And so sometimes, not even sometimes, relationships take work. Relationships take
Listen.
communication, working through things, compromise, understanding, compassion, forgiveness. You know, it really
a
takes
lot
a
of
lot.
forgiveness. And to be honest, Rebecca and I are not the same people we were 5 years ago. But we've grown together, matured together, not apart. A lot of people are growing up apart. Okay, they're not growing up together. They're not maturing together. You're not growing together. You're growing apart.
Marriage and relationships take recommitment all the time.
Yes.
You're going to go through things. You're going to get hurt. You're going to be disappointed, even if it's unintentionally. And you'll have to find it in your heart to forgive, find it in your heart to recommit, double down on your love, and hang in there.
Because forgiveness is a choice.
It really is.
You have to choose to forgive. You have to choose to renew. You have to choose to go forward. And a lot of people, and let me say this, and I just feel really led to say this for somebody. People want you when you're with someone.
Oh my God.
People desire you when you have someone. You know why? Because you're somebody else's responsibility.
Yeah.
The moment you become free, you're very attractive. When you have a ring on.
Carrie and I are very attractive to someone else together. We're very attractive. But if we're no longer together, Carrie's not going to be half as attractive.
And likewise.
Without me. And I'm not going to be half as attractive to a man without him.
Because you know what people look at? They see her happiness, right? Yep. And they go, oh my. Oh, look at her. She's all spunky. Not realizing she's spunky because the man that she's married to brought the spunk and gave it to her.
I'm taking care of her.
And likewise. And that's why people want you, because they see your happiness. But here's the thing. The moment you're free and single to mingle, they don't want you because they don't want the responsibility that comes with you.
All of a sudden, you're not as attractive at all anymore when you become available. And a lot of the times when people end up leaving the person they're with or leave their marriage because someone's in their ear and someone's talking to them like, you know, oh, I can treat you better. You know, they're really just trying to have sex with you. They're just trying to, it's a challenge, you know, but get single. They're going to be ghosts. They're nowhere around. They're not trying to wife you. They're not trying to marry you. They're not trying to be with you or commit to you. It was just for fun.
Yeah. And what happens is a lot of people, again, as you said, we think the grass is greener. You think they can, I'm going to upgrade. And at the end of the day, the upgrade is really inside of you.
Yeah.
You know, because you started to sometimes, like prime example, you got to learn how to deal with the inner person and who you are. Rebecca can't make me happy. I can't make her happy. And a lot of people in this time have been depending on people to make you happy who can't do it now because they're not happy themselves because of the stress they're dealing with.
And I think take this and set the crisis to the side for a second. In general, people are not happy with themselves in general. And so the dating process and the coupling process becomes this process of people looking for other people that can fill in the void, that can put a Band-Aid on their wounds. And what ends up happening is that after the infatuation wears off of getting to know someone, all of your wounds start bleeding again. But now you've always been in pain. You already have issues you're not dealing with. But now when the newness wears off and you're hurting again, now it's their fault. You're hurting me. It's your fault. You did this to me. And really, truthfully, you were already hurting when you came into the situation, but now the infatuation is worn off and you're back to dealing with your pain.
Yes.
But now you have a new scapegoat, someone who you're going to lay all of that blame on them.
Yes.
When you have all this mess that came way before them that had nothing to do with them that you were already hurting over. Somebody said up above that they've been through a divorce and it's been through an ugly divorce, and they don't want to get old alone, but they're really afraid of getting married again. They're afraid that they will end up in a bad situation again.
Well, as we always say here, and we say to our clients and people, you first have to become healed, get your healing, do your work, get healed, go back through. What happened to me? Here's what they call the 5 stages of grief. Yeah. And the first one is denial. Most time when someone's hurt, they deny that I had anything to do with the hurt or I had any parts to play in it. Once you go through all the 5 stages, denial, anger, deception, whatever the other, and then finally acceptance is the last part. Most people, when you accept the fact that this is what part I had to play, blah 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 blah, and you do the work, you'll start to see life differently. You'll start to see people differently. There's always a chance you're taking when you're getting with someone. I don't care if they're God sent or just somebody you went and found yourself. There's always the risk because you're going to get hurt. Let me just say this to everyone watching right now. If you think you're going to be in a relationship and not experience hurt, you are lying to yourself. You're going to get hurt in a relationship. What the difference is the person that hurts you unintentionally and they love you. And then there's enough forgiveness in there to forgive the hurt. Mm-hmm. I've hurt Rebecca. Rebecca's hurt me. But the love is there to say, but I love you. And so
Bob Marley said that everyone's going to hurt you. You're going to get hurt in life. But it's about finding the people who are worth suffering for. Mm-hmm. So everyone's going to hurt you, but it's about finding that person who's worth suffering for.
Yeah.
And so Carrie's worth the pain. The upside way outweighs any of the bad that we've been through. The benefits, the pros, the cons, the love is all greater than any turmoil or heartaches or problems that we've had to work through. The love is greater. And Donna made a really good point right here. She said, Brenda said, it all comes down to if you're not a whole person alone, it will never work as a couple.
Nope.
And that is so true.
And you'll be surprised. It's situations like this when you can no longer hide behind your money. You can no longer hide behind, your prestige.
Yes.
This pandemic doesn't have a race, creed, sex,
financial
status. It's hitting the greatest and the least. What we're talking about tonight is really this. Can your love, or as we love, can you stand the rain? Yeah. New Edition said it really good. Pain's going to come, trials going to come, all this stuff's going to come. But can you stand the rain? And, things could be good today for us. Tomorrow I could wake up with it. She could wake up with it. But can we stand the rain? Will I be there to love you through it? Or will I I didn't sign up for this? If you lost everything and you end up having to, lose your home and end up, in an apartment or in a hotel, you have to make your mind up that, baby, this stuff comes and goes. Mm-hmm. This is just material thing, but love is something that if you ever find it in life, you never want to lose it.
Coconut, it doesn't even sound like you have a man, sweetheart. You're saying you have a man. I'm sorry. There's a thread right here on I'm alone. Coconut says, I'm alone and bored and have a man. And she then says,
Thank you, Robert.
He's got his 36-year-old daughter and grandson staying over instead of me.
I like what Prophet Harold said. He says, COVID-19, a.k.a. the great equalizer.
The great equalizer.
Yes. Why you mess with Coco?
But no, Coconut, listen,
Coconut.
Honey, you in a situationship. You in something real casual. You thought it was something, but if you guys are not together, what you doing?
I'm getting this book for Coconut. Love and dating.
Yeah, Coconut.
There's a section in here. And where's that one about the situationship? What chapter?
Situationship syndrome.
Chapter 5. Situationship.
73.
Baby, get this book. It'll help you. Because you sound like you're in a situationship. It really does.
Yes.
Well, that's for another program. But yeah.
But that sounds like what is going on, sweetheart.
Yeah. What we got?
The problem is people don't try in trying times, also getting bad advice from friends. You need to reevaluate or your relationship. Don't let anyone come between you.
Let me say something.
And that's coming from Rocky, who's been married 14, 15 years.
At the end of the day,
telling the truth.
Here's why it's not best to tell people when you're going through a situation. Because when you're going through it, you're looking for somebody to be on your side, to be mad with you.
Right.
And then they say, girl,
he's no good.
You should have got it. Yeah. And you still with him. I know this guy over here that he would never do that to you. And then when you decide that you don't want to leave Junebug because Junebug is good to you,
Junebug.
all of a sudden now.
Where do you get Junebug, Carrie Poe? Oh my God, it's a country.
No, I just said Junebug because I don't want to call anybody the name out they may be. Now that you got Junebug over here, you want to stay with him. Now your girlfriend's looking sideways, and you no longer telling them that you and Junebug has worked it out because why?
Now she feels some type of way and don't like Junebug no more.
Thank you. So now you said, please, the best way to avoid it is keep folks out your business from the beginning. Stop telling people. I tell you, because everybody, can I say this? Everybody doesn't like your relationship or want your relationship to work. So with that being said, you have to be careful when, and it's one thing to get good advice from someone who loves both of you. Did anybody hear what I just said?
Yep.
Both of you. If you don't love both of them, then it's hard to take advice because do you really have my best interest at heart?
That's right.
When it comes to the relationship? Because sometimes I'm going to love what you don't like.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to like what you don't love.
He said people are taking advice from single people. Ooh. You ain't got no business taking a bunch of advice from single people because they're not married. Right. I mean, sometimes people have some good advice, but you listen. And I'm going to say this. Sometimes everybody's not rooting for you. Sometimes people are jealous of you. Sometimes people are jealous of your relationship. Sometimes people are envious. That's right, Tasha. There are so many haters. And listen, you think while they're smiling in your face, hugging you, kissing you, you're their best friend, that's your cousin, they love you. And the whole time in the back of their mind, they could be hating on it or a little envious or jealous. So everything they say to you has a certain slant to it. And you're not even realizing it because you're so naive.
And most of your girlfriends or guy friends will give you advice, but they won't take advice when you give it back to them.
Or they don't even take their own advice.
True.
They're trying to tell you what to do, but what does their love life look like? Right? They don't even adhere to their own advice. So just be careful who you listen to.
Yeah. And in this time, a lot of people are not able to go to church of the building, we call it church, and have a regular service to get their strength. You got to know how to reach God in your prayer time. You got to be able to know how to pray together and say, we're going to get through this. And let me bring this out real quick. This is powerful. Also, we teach this in our relationships when we talk to our couples. You have time together, and that's powerful. But you also need time apart. Mm-hmm. During this quarantine, you may be doing things together and having fun. But the next time, Rebecca need to go in the office and do her thing and chill, and I need to go do my thing because I need that alone time. Because guess what? I got some things I'm processing. God's speaking to me, or I just need to deal with Carrie that day because Carrie may just be crazy and need a moment to himself. Yeah. So you got to know how to say when to be together, when to be alone, but you're not going to separate to do it as far as I'm leaving you. No, you should be able to know how to, pray together. And then she said, well, baby, I'm going to go ahead and spend some long time. I'm going to go for a walk. Okay, have a good walk.
Right. There was a comment back up here.
And we'll get ready to wind this thing up.
On YouTube.
Yeah, what we got? Are you enjoying this, guys, tonight? Is it helping you?
Avencia says, great time to love yourself, know yourself, and find your passions and grow a business.
You better say
honey, listen, you done spoke a whole sermon.
Love yourself.
She also said, I am living my best life being single in this quarantine. Some of you are going through hell because you do not know how to vet and qualify people. Now you have to be quarantined with them. This is a mess. Yes, honey.
It's bad to vet somebody in quarantine.
Listen. All of a sudden you in quarantine and stuck with somebody and you getting to know the real them, and this is a hot mess.
Yeah, nothing reveals a true person's heart like stress.
Oh man.
Like hard times.
Yep. And sometimes, people will date and commit without even having gone through any hard times, not ever really seeing someone underneath stress, disappointment, frustration, loss, lack.
One thing we
death.
tell our clients is this. We tell them, never marry someone until you've seen them angry. We had this one couple. I've never seen them angry. We don't get angry. All right, that's red flags. Flag on the play. You don't get angry. You show me one relationship that hasn't experienced anger. When I heard that, I said, okay.
So we're living in la la land.
Yeah, you over here smoking the good stuff, that good kush.
Because at the end of the day, you need to see someone angry. You need to see someone sad. You need to see someone grief. Grieve. You need to see someone and how they handle, because the person you meet under perfect circumstances and great circumstances,
that is an imposter.
Let them go under stress.
Yep.
This is where you're going to see how they really handle things.
Some of you didn't realize that your partner had a drug problem until stress kicked in. And you started looking for something to calm their needs, whether it's alcohol, drugs, sex. Their addiction kicked in when stress kicked in.
Yep.
If everything is good, no, you need to see that person under stress. How do they handle stress? How do they handle disappointment? Do they have temper tantrums? Do they cuss like a sailor and throw things? Hey, Donnie, God bless you, brother. Do they call you out of your names and belittle you and say, I wish I had never met you. You're the scum of the earth. Oh, where did this come from? It's always been there. You just never poked the bear enough to see it come out.
What about when things are not going their way?
Oh.
And all of a sudden you're not giving them what they want anymore.
Ooh.
Right? What about when all of a sudden the marriage, or you have to work a lot all of a sudden. There's some demand on your time.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you're not able to be there the same exact way you've always been there. Or in other words, the ups and downs of life. Mm-hmm. Life is always going to have ups and downs and change. Yes. And so it's like you got to be able to know that someone can handle that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Coconut says, I'm planning the talk even before this video. Okay, good, Coconut. You know what you got to do.
There you go.
You know what you got to do,
There
Coconut.
you go. There you go. and so we're getting back to it. You need to know, and to be honest with you, it's times like this.
This is when
that
the
brings
rubber meets
out
the road.
The real person. Now, let's just be honest. They may have an anger management problem, but you may be the person able to help them manage the anger. See, whoever God puts you with, you have what they need to get through whatever they have that they're going through.
Yeah.
You have the ability to calm the beast in them. You have the ability to speak soft words that will turn away wrath. You have that ability.
You have the ability to hold them accountable to do their healing work. You have the ability.
Listen.
So in real compatibility, guys, we're not talking about every situation. Mm-hmm. But in true compatibility and true love, compatibility means that even your imperfections are compatible.
Yes.
That even where you lack or you struggle, they're able to pick up and pick up the slack for you. Yeah. They're able to help you be better, and vice versa.
And we must put this in here. Don't be afraid in this season to hold people accountable. Okay, don't feel like I can't really say that because I'm afraid they'll leave. No, that this pandemic doesn't give someone the opportunity to walk over you and to use you because they know that you don't want them to walk.
Right.
No, Rebecca gets out of line, I hold her in check. I get in line, she holds me in check. It doesn't matter whether it's a pandemic or not. You should always hold someone accountable if you're going to be in a relationship with them, because why? That's your life.
Or else it's fake.
Or it's fake. Yeah.
It's not even real.
It doesn't feel good to hold someone accountable.
If you can't be authentic and you can't express your true feelings, and even not to say you have to be angry to express yourself, but with love, even with kindness, say, listen, I don't like this. Listen, this is not God's best for me. I need more from you. I need more support. I need more, whatever it is. You need to be able to express that.
Yeah, in love.
Listen, relationship.
In love. Express it in love. And sometimes tears is still love. Sometimes a loud voice is still love. I don't hate you. I'm expressing that I'm hurting. And we got to get out of this, you don't love me. If you love me, you want to talk to me like that. I'm not talking to you in a hateful way. I'm hurting. And Rebecca and I, when we went through something a while back, I had to understand about her that she wasn't attacking me. Now, she said some stuff I did not like. God knows I didn't. But then God had to deal with me and say, Carrie, she's hurting. And when hurt people, they hurt people, but not intentionally, because they're hurting. What she was screaming was, her words were one thing, but she was screaming something else. Mm-hmm. And so in this season, it's about listening to the real words, not the words you're actually hearing. Yeah. It's the words that they're speaking in their hurt. And so with that being said, it's these times of, it's this pandemic, the crisis that bring out things. And so don't give up too soon. Work through it. And then if you don't have it, let me say this, and this is so important. And I had to learn it because I'm a fixer. I don't know if Rebecca's I'm a fixer. So if she's having a problem, I feel like it's my responsibility to give her, I got to fix it. I got to give her something. God bless you, brother. I got to give her something because I don't want her to hurt. But sometimes the best fix is just to listen and to hold her and to say, baby, we're going to get through this.
That's right.
Sometimes the fixer may be, I'm sorry. I didn't know that I was doing that to you. I didn't know that you felt that way. Mm-hmm. It's not that we have to become offensive. Sometimes we just got to become reactive to what they're saying and listen and say, I'm sorry. Yeah. You know.
And here's the other thing. And recognize during this time, it's not just other people. You've got your own issues. This type of time and crisis is when God is revealing to you the stuff you need to deal with.
Ooh, that's a word right
we
there.
love to point the finger at everyone else. You're doing this, you're that, you're not this, it's your fault. But what about turning around and really taking an inventory for yourself? For yourself, you're not perfect. None of us are perfect. What are your issues? What do you need to work on? What is the root of that impatience? What is the root of that quick tongue, that pain where you're lashing out when someone says, what is it triggering, right? Whatever triggers you is revealing an unhealed place.
That's it.
Whatever, it's not necessarily
it's not the devil.
It's not necessarily the trigger, you guys. Mm-hmm. Sometimes what's triggering you is revealing an unhealed issue from way before you were even with this person.
Come on.
It's reminding you of something.
Yes.
It makes you, the feeling is a memory from the past, a pain you went through, something you experienced. When someone says it like that, or they say this to you, or someone takes a tone with you, or in a situation you perceive that they're doing something to you and it reminds you of something you went through or something abusive or painful from the past, and now you're lashing out. And that's not even what the real situation is. Sometimes you are not seeing things clearly or even reading a situation for what it really is, because the past is literally filtering. You're filtering everything through the past. And when you're doing that, you can't truly see with clear vision what's really going on.
Come on, girl, say that.
What's really going on.
Say that. That's
so
God
sometimes we have to look, introspect, look inside, look into you, and say, why did I react like that?
Yes.
Why did that upset me? It wasn't even that serious of a situation. Why did I react like that?
Yep.
And now it's up to you. That's not your partner's responsibility to figure all that out. It's between you and God, your therapist, your coach, to now go back and say, what did that remind me of? Why did I react that way? Oh, I remember that situation 20 years ago when those people or that situation made me feel that way, and that's what that reminded me of. Yeah. That's right. Self-check.
It unleashed hurt that was never dealt with. We call it suppressed hurt.
Yeah, repressed.
Repressed hurt. Repressed hurt is what it did. And here's what I've learned. We get mad at the person who actually triggered us rather than understand the trigger was always there. Someone that loves you normally
always there.
And their love is what triggered it.
And here's the other thing. If you don't learn the lesson, God will keep bringing people that keep triggering that pain.
That's what I'm getting at.
Until you deal with it. Yep. Because he's intentionally allowing the same situation to keep coming up and trigger you, because he's trying to heal you. He's trying to get you to recognize what you need to give attention to. So you'll be ready to dismiss this person and be like, oh, she's not for me. That she's hurting my feelings. I don't like her. And you go find you a new boo, a new love, and then she's doing the same thing or doing something similar that is triggering you.
And guess what?
And you
now they're the problem.
Now
they're the new problem.
You keep trying to trade in when God keeps trying to bring you a love lesson that's trying to get you to deal with you.
Yeah.
It's not the person.
And because we're so transparent as we've always been, that was me. I was never wanting to deal with Carrie because it hurt. Or I was embarrassed because I'm an apostle or a prophet or a preacher, so I got titles. Or people, what would they think about me? It doesn't matter what your title is. It doesn't matter your occupation. You're still human. And it's up to you to look in the mirror and say, I'm hurting like hell. I got to deal with this thing. And I'm not going to hide behind a scripture. I'm not going to hide behind a prayer or a title. I'm going to look in the mirror, as Michael Jackson say, I'm going to deal with the man in the mirror. Because when I started really dealing with Carrie, and the toxic issues that I carried, and I cried like a baby because you know what? I finally said, I got to deal with it. And you know what?
And you have to stop trying to mask all of that with a new person.
Yes, you can't do that.
You just keep carrying it from one thing to the next. Yeah. You could be trying to trade in what you got right now, and the real issue isn't even who you're with.
It's you. You know. Here's a good way to close it. You remember the story of Jonah? And Jonah would not do what he was supposed to do, meaning deal with himself. And he jumped on the boat and said, I'm not doing what God wants me to do. I'm going to jump on the boat and I'm going to go opposite direction. And he jumped on the boat and everybody paid the price except Jonah because he was down chilling like a villain in the bottom of the ship. They're up on top, throwing away tackle, taking straws about who's going to jump overboard.
The storm started raging. God came right up around on that boat for Jonah and said, you can't escape this lesson. You can't escape being obedient to do what God's calling you to do to deal with you.
Some people are struggling and suffering because of the Jonahs in their lives who refuse to deal with their ish, as we like to say. Yeah. And so with that being said, when I learned to deal with my stuff, guess what? The boat began to do this. Instead of being like this, it began to do like this.
Smooth sail.
Because it was in the belly of my decisions, in the belly of my issues, that I was able to truly look in the mirror and go, you know what? Dang, it's time to really be authentic. It's because, to be honest with you, most people in this life, I'm going to close with this, we're not being authentic because being authentic is not making you cool, or maybe you can't be authentic because people put you in this limelight or this pedestal.
Or you're so afraid of being judged. You're so, I had a conversation today with a good friend, and she's really going through kind of like an awakening in her life where she's really kind of like owning everything she's been through. And it's been just a really rough ride because she's was raised in religion, raised in, very, very strong Christian family. And with religion came this judgment, this really strong judgment that says you've got to be perfect. You've got to meet all these legalistic standards that literally are setting a standard so high that now here's guilt and shame because you didn't get it all right. You didn't make all the right choices. You were human. You fell down. Yeah. You didn't. So now here's shame. And guess what?
Come on.
In all of that shame and guilt and not forgiving yourself, you're now carrying that around and you're not able to be authentic because you're too afraid of what people are going to say about you, too afraid of what people will think about you, right? Too afraid of literally saying, oh, wait, I don't want to be judged. I don't want anybody to look at me and think I'm not a good Christian. I'm not a good woman. And in the meantime, you're suffering and suffering and suffering because we first have to get authentic and say, wait, this is me. Flaws and all.
What's it, love it or leave it?
Flaws and all.
Flaws and all.
Perfectly imperfect. Yeah. And when you can own yourself and your issues.
And so that's how you get through times like this. This is an opportunity for you to really look in the mirror, make up your mind that I'm coming out of this better.
Yeah.
I'm going to do the work. Yeah. I'm going to keep watching the popes and other things that people put out there. And I'm going to live a happy life and get real and have a happy life. And at the end of the day, remember this. None of us are perfect.
No. But we are a living example of what is on the other side of authenticity and honesty and personal healing.
Personal healing.
Personal healing. The reason Carrie and I have such an amazing relationship and friendship is because we have both put in the work personally. And we continue to put in the work. We're always developing on a personal level. God's always revealing something else. Like, wow, I didn't know that I had an issue with that. I didn't know that I needed to work on that. I didn't know. And so you're always in tune and listening. And as you are being the very best person you can be, the most healed you can be, then you're a better partner for your husband and your wife, or for your spouse, your partner.
And then never hurts to keep a counselor on speed dial.
Yeah. Counselors,
therapist,
on
coach, speed dial, guys.
Get help.
On speed dial.
Get help.
I can't emphasize that enough. Stop, put your pride aside. Listen, you'll spend less with a counselor than you will with a divorce.
Ooh, now that would preach.
I think that's a tweet right there.
That's right.
You will spend less with a counselor than you will in a divorce.
A whole lot less than that divorce. So don't give up too quick.
Amen.
And maybe at this time, maybe this message, if it's reaching you, is to say, work on you.
Work on you.
Because honestly, in a relationship, and this is what's difficult, it's very difficult to get couples to focus on themselves. Because they're so focused on their partner. He did this, she did that, she said this, she said that. Well, it's his fault. He did. But if you can just take your eyes off of your partner for a second and begin to invest in yourself and work on you, then you are able to say, wait, I'm going to get the benefit of working on me, and my partner's going to get the benefit of working on me too.
Yeah.
Listen, you guys can do your work personally, and all of a sudden in your marriage, when both of you are showing up authentic and healed, that's just truly the beginning of your relationship. Your relationship truly just began because the two of you finally just showed up.
That's true. That is so true. And one of the things that Rebecca knows about me, when I'm happy, I have a dance and I have a song I do. She says, "You're happy, aren't you?" Why? You're doing that dance.
Oh my God. When my husband is happy, you guys, it is all over his face, his demeanor. He's bopping around the house, dancing, singing. We
know about the singing though. Somebody's gonna record me while
it's when he's happy, it's just really, really obvious. And I love for Carrie to be happy.
Yeah, and I love being happy. I love for you to be happy as well. All right, so we hope you've enjoyed tonight. Listen,
we're gonna do this more often. We're gonna be back. Are we back next week?
We'll be back.
He's not committing to next week.
Would you like us to come back next week? Let's ask the people if they'd like us to come back next week. They may not want to hear us next week. Would you like to see us next week?
You guys want us to come back next week?
Because, so many people doing, you know what? We've seen the most craziest videos since we've been quarantined. All right. We got to stop some of these crazy quarantine videos. Unless you're Lil Duval. Keep them coming.
Oh my God, he's so crazy.
So listen, guys, we'll be back. Okay.
See you next week.
Hey, Rocky, if you're still on, what was his anniversary?
I think he said next week.
So we're gonna come in and sing "It's Your Anniversary." Anniversary.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna sing it next week, Rocky. We're gonna rock to it.
Yes,
all right?
Tune in, Rocky. We'll be back.
We may even get up and dance for you next week, Rocky. He says I'm in the UK.
What time next week? We'll be back same time.
Yes.
It's Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern time, Rocky.
Yes.
Same place, same time.
Same place, same time, Rocky. And hey, we're gonna sing for you next week. We may even dance for you next week. We'll put the song on and do a dance. Since you can't dance for her, we'll dance for you. All right. So God bless all you guys. We love you much.
Okay,
and until next time.
Blessings in abundance.
Blessings in abundance. Take care, guys.
Bye, guys.